Hey everyone, what is up? Tim here with another Cyberpunk 2077 video. Yesterday there was a lot of interesting stuff coming out about this game and just showing how really unprofessional the work environment, the management of CDPR is. In my previous video, I was honestly just shocked that they just in their apology they're straight up suspicious and honestly just um were blatantly lying to many people, to their team, their QA testers, and to the fans for the most part. But there is a portion of the audience now. It's not just me, and I'm glad it's not just me, but there's a portion of the cyberpunk community where people are coming to wherever, forums, Reddit, or even YouTube, Twitter, defending Cyberpunk's actions, okay? CDPR's actions, basically. I criticized them a lot in my recent video, got a bit of flack from it, and honestly, I don't understand why do people defend this sort of worth ethic? Why do they support a corporate, a company that clearly does not care about this game from the start? They wanted to obviously get sales. They didn't care about actually finishing the game, their own project that they announced literally 8 years ago. Like what Jason Schreier said, all poor management, just unprofessional, everything. If you guys want to look into this Twitter thread, he pretty much summarizes it of what he says in his article. But I think this is one of the most interesting reads you should actually get into when it comes down to Cyberpunk 2077. Like I said, I don't understand why people think we're hating on the game, or if we say any sort of criticism, we hate the game. I clearly play the game. I played all the endings. I literally played everything that relates to Cyberpunk, okay? I did my best to understand the story, understand the game mechanics, literally did everything for that game, and I basically nearly 100% the game. I don't nearly have all trophies for it. And it's clear as day that the game was fucking just not finished, okay? It's not finished. It's not a game that was ready to be put out in the public. There's just so many things that it's missing. And the fact that in the article I just showed you, it reveals that this whole demo is literally fake. Well, nearly everything is fake. Not the whole thing, okay? But nearly everything. And honestly, I'm not surprised. Is CDPR the first people to do this? No, there's plenty of other companies out there like Activision, especially Ubisoft. Oh my god, I still remember the days where they really got me with Watch Dogs, and when I got the PS4, it was nothing like that. Nothing like that. All fake gameplay. So this was originally a planned video, and I just wanted to just dive in and take a look back on the E3 2018 trailer, due to the fact that I actually didn't really look into this demo back in the day because I was covering other stuff. And also I wasn't that interested in Cyberpunk, like how I wasn't interested in The Witcher 3 back then. So this is actually pretty interesting. This is one of my first times seeing it, or if anything, I mean, back then I did take a peek at it, but I don't really remember as much. And just knowing the fact that like literally there's knowing this whole demo is pretty much fake is pretty insightful to see. So let's just dive into it. I was about to make a video on this before this all happened, but luckily I kind of waited this out until we had more information about Cyberpunk, and here we are now. So let's actually dive into it. So that's another thing. She does not exist in this game. I don't know why they remodeled her. I don't understand why. But she doesn't exist in that game. By the way, I'm not wearing headphones, so you may hear my speakers. The team spent months on this demo as well, and when they spent months on this demo, and this is all according to the article here, highly recommend you read this for more context. But basically, the article sums up that devs literally wasted time working on this fake demo than the actual game. That is just so stupid. Dumb time management. Oh, you know what? You guys probably don't hear the audio, so let me change that. There we go.
Before we start, a small but important disclaimer. The gameplay you're about to see is from a work...
The gameplay you're about to see is work in progress. Till we all knew it was fake. So we're just going to skim through and get into the character selection. So, basically, this was a whole different idea to have when it comes to its character selection. Obviously, yes, we all know it's fake, but definitely, we did have this sort of concept in real game.
...will be possible in the released game. This is an RPG.
So, I think this is also interesting to look at when you have different sets of personality. I think it shows what they intended, what they wanted to have, and have some sort of backstory to your character, which will make you have different dialogue options and possibly alternate scenarios if they actually continue this concept and had more time. I'm just speaking hypothetically, but it's interesting to see this whole different concept of the character selection.
Different possibilities later in the game. Also, you can use an array of...
And also, you could tell this is pretty much rendered just to see, like, if I saw this back in 2018, if I was looking into Cyberpunk 2077, I would honestly think this is fake gameplay. Because look how well rendered this is, okay? In a lot of free roam games, you don't have much detailed, very detailed open world games where your textures is very, very CGI like. So already from first glance, just seeing the character model purely rendered out, or looks rendered or used on a high-powered CPU.
These include body type, hairstyle, tattoos, makeup, skin tone, and many, many more. But visuals aren't everything.
So we do actually have this in the main game, so they stuck with that.
To customize your initial girl whose locator, along with a netrunner, beginning of the game. V and her friend.
See, that's interesting because this game took place in Northern California and then ended up taking place in Southern California. So I wonder how like everything would have been like. It kind of reminds me as well. Oh yeah, you guys can probably see what the hell I'm talking about. But here, it says that this takes place at Northern California, where it makes me sort of have this insight, because when I was playing Cyberpunk 2077, definitely there was many times where I did feel like I was roaming around San Francisco. So I wonder if they didn't scrap the ideas and stick to the original concept. I wonder if this was actually going to take place in Northern California instead of Southern.
The netrunner named T-Bot are hired to find and retrieve a missing...
Should have full access in down and out. Better Delta.
Cyberpunk 2077 is a first-person role-playing game. This perspective enables us to maximize your immersion.
Should have full access in 2.8 seconds.
Also, by the way, I want to put out, I forgot to mention, I think there would have been more third-person cutscenes as well if they had more time. Like scenes like this, see, scenes like that. You know, I think there would have been more, because definitely, as someone who's played the ending, definitely your character is more involved in third-person cutscenes, like that in the many of the endings of Cyberpunk 2077. But for some reason, majority of the game, everything is pretty much in first person. So literally, I don't know what was their intention. Like I said, there's just so much scrap content in this game already. Of just, I'm only in the first minute. We have 48 minutes left. Um,
37 on your right.
so I'm gonna be skimming through some stuff because, like I said, this is such an insight to see now with having more context to it. And it's just also the fact that another thing about this, it was mentioned by the Bloomberg article that this was literally a game that was in the works in 2016, and then some director um, dropped the game. They just left, right, for some reason, and obviously for valid reasons because of how obviously this company is with their unrealistic expectations. But it's also the fact that I think uh, I think from the Bloomberg article it mentioned that literally when the new director came in, this person wanted to do a whole new game again. So all the devs literally started over from scratch on working in this game in 2016.
Maximize your immersion.
Should have full access in 2.8 seconds.
It just happens, man. It just happens when ambitious games. It just sucks, man. But pretty much, yeah, this game looks very good looking, the lighting and everything. But definitely, we weren't gonna see that in the main game, 100%. So pretty much, it shows the prologue. Now, this is what actually intrigues me is that there's actually different finishers when it comes down to, um, doing your stealth moves. And hold up, let me mute my phone real quick. Uh, so let's.
About to get heated.
The fact that there's a takedown animations like this, we didn't get none of that in the game because I honestly think the devs didn't have enough time to even polish up the gameplay in here, obviously,
Use the Koresnikov ability.
especially when it's game mechanics. So pretty much in the prologue, you could tell that they. I also noticed a lot when playing in the real game is that they did a great job on envisioning what they promised for all platforms, but from other than the prologue, it kind of just goes way downhill from there. But definitely, when it comes down to see, we even see that in the original game, the slow motion when you aim down your sights. But definitely, this is a um, the prologues and the endings of this game is definitely something the developers had time and to work on and put in as much effort as they can under their poor management. So props to them when it comes to that. Now this is actually pretty different of how someone locks the door because here in the original game or in the released game, someone blows up the wall and shoots you with a Gatling gun and you're supposed to back up. Oh, there we go. I think it's happening now. So you back up and then you're supposed to go to the vent over there. So they still kept this concept here. And really they showed some nudity in the demo? I didn't know that. We're gonna be skipping that.
Get her outside. I'll cover you.
It turns out a virus.
Let me see. Let me see this. See, this was different. Definitely different because we had a whole squad coming in, other than the paramedics. So this was pretty interesting to see. See more third-person cutscenes, and show, and pretty much showing. See, it still takes place in Northern California. So correct me if I'm wrong, though. But the game seems like it takes place in Southern California more than Northern California. But definitely we have scenes like this, where shows V having
Is a mature, visceral experience, and as such, it will let you explore a variety
a
of
one-night stand, basically. See, and I'm wondering if we're gonna see like more third-person cutscenes like this, just to have a sense of immersion for your character. But definitely, this is just all fake. I mean, like I said, look at the textures and look how things are just well set up. Definitely, this was on high-powered hardware when creating this.
Hey, Sophie, look, I need to talk to you. That news is as big as my balls.
And I got a hot date with my Ripper Doc.
Good look around our
Because the fact that this shows this is apparently supposed to be quote unquote real time gameplay, it's hard to believe it. Because you can't get like this big of an ambitious game where a lot of stuff is running in the game and end up having and then end up having this great quality looking game. It just doesn't happen, man. So we're gonna skip more of it. So interesting. Look how the UI is as well. I'm just gonna be like skipping through some stuff. See, they got this concept right. So what I'm really disappointed about this hub though is that literally there's nothing you can do. There's like it's just stuff you could see. I was expecting when it came to this is like we're gonna have like some sort of mini games or fight night rounds with people or mini games to like work out in some sort of way, but we never had that in the original game. There's pretty much nothing we could do. But they definitely got the environment right in the original game. And like I said, lighting in this game is pretty much super nice looking, but something we're not gonna see realistically on the base PS4. They just didn't have enough time to optimize the game correctly and do all these sorts of things. It just sucks, man. See, they have Wilson there by the elevator. Now, this is where I think I remember where I was like, yeah, this is 100% fake. When they showed many of the NPCs that are good looking, right? Everyone looks unique. Everyone looks so detailed. And the amount of NPCs here, like, as if you're in a whole different world. And the PS4 will be able to run that? Hell no. Look at this. Just look at this. It looks beautiful, though. It looks so beautiful, but damn, man.
We've greatly enhanced our crowd.
Something you're not gonna see in the console versions. But I think this was also... I think you were able to sort of see this. You had an option to change the crowd density in the PC version. And definitely when you put it on high, you get something very similar like this. So the PC was able to meet its expectations, some of it. But definitely they weren't going to change the whole entire build for one platform and then put a crappy version for the console. So they had to have some consistency when releasing these builds for each platform. And honestly, like I said, they should have just delayed the game, like what I previously said before. They should have just honestly delayed the game for consoles, or just the whole game in general. The game needed at least, I always say this, the game needed at least 1 year.
The city streets are
Oh, and there's the monks.
people from all facets of life, all living their lives within a full day and night.
Yeah, it's just so good looking and so many things are happening. And this is supposed to be real-time gameplay. And The Witcher 3 can't even do this, you know? So, there are already red flags on here. Not even the popular games like Red Dead and what are other open world titles that are pretty big on, like Horizon Zero Dawn, Death Stranding. Well, obviously Death Stranding is just walking around, but like Horizon Zero Dawn and Red Dead, you don't have many NPCs like this on here. This game was obviously way too ambitious for the time given, but regardless, I just hate how the executives and the upper management of this game just wanted it out, man. They just wanted it out, and they did so many changes.
Dexter Deshawn, a fixer, a person who gets things done. He wants to meet up and discuss a job. Let's see what he has for us.
I just hate thinking about that. The devs literally took months developing this demo. Even the lighting on here, you're not gonna see that on console, man. So yeah, I think I'm starting to believe like this was literally its own sort of demo, just for their own particular hardware or high-powered hardware that was able to run this. Because the devs, according to the article, it took months for this demo to be made in order to be ready for E3 2018. Damn, man. I don't want to like look in everything, right, and just observe every single detail. This game is incredibly long. It's a 48-minute video. So I'm going to be skimming through many things, right? Because it's just roaming around, and we all know it's fake. Oh yeah, look at what was her name? I forgot her name.
We're looking for some tech. Let's talk.
Hey, everybody shut it! Where is it? Come on, spell!
On the horn.
Crime is a common occurrence. Night City is not a safe place.
See, I wonder if we're gonna have that, if we're able to see holograms of what happened in the crime scene. I wonder if we were able to gonna have that. If the devs were able to manage the time they wanted for this game.
Offer people the possibility to
Vic, shit just got real.
See, they even got, you know, they actually did get Vic's office right, and we were able to see this on real time. Pretty much, like, this looks like it's running on the PC version. And I'm just wondering, man, I just hate thinking of the possibilities. Like, if they had the time, will they be able to actually optimize things the way they wanted it to be, you know?
Hitting the major.
Because definitely they got this right in the original game, or the release game. I keep saying original game. See, I wonder if we were gonna have a UI like this. I think it would have been inconvenient to have a UI like this, but I don't know. I could be absolutely wrong. We will never know. So let's skip this scene. What else do we have here?
This guy looks an awful lot like one of those scavengers we took.
Look at the UI for the car. It even shows your miles per hour on here and RPM.
Sports car running on Chew 2, the super fuel of the future.
It's funny because driving in first person is such an inconvenience. Just driving in first person in general, in any sort of video game, is just inconvenient. It's not even fun. Unless you have a steering wheel, unless it's Forza.
Earlier are still angry.
So they were able to do this also in the release game. So pretty much they're just showing the prologue.
Danger lurks around every corner, even in daytime.
See, it's such a beautiful looking game, man.
These are an example of how your actions direct
Oh man, you could have used all this time though for the actual build of the game. This is my favorite part. This is like Chinatown or Japantown on here. Favorite part of the city in the game, to be honest with you guys.
presents Militech, one
So yeah, I'm just literally just skimming around.
Yeah.
So it looks like there were supposed to be more missions. Just more missions, or if anything, alternate scenarios depending on what traits and lifestyle you picked, I guess. Or they didn't have lifestyles in the demo, but like it seems like there was alternate scenarios that they planned. I hope that this was literally but anyway, this was supposed to be like some sort of alternate scenario depending on what traits you picked for your character.
Let's try to approach them carefully.
And here we are familiar with this cutscene.
Fucking thing ready?
All set.
See, and she looks way too, like, she definitely looks, the lighting, the textures on her, the hair, everything.
Hacked us through our personal link.
Little old
Just all high quality, man.
I don't give a shit about you real
We'll forget.
tough shit. All we need's for
Okay, and this is at the prologue where you infiltrate the scavs.
I'll stand.
So they were able to actually pull this off in the original game, you know, and that's why like I was intrigued with it, because you could tell the hard work they put in. And like I said, there's actually different scenarios in the prologue depending on what lifestyle you picked, I think, but it isn't like big as a difference, you know. It's not super big as a difference when it comes to choosing these alternate scenarios, but definitely, like I said, it clearly shows that a lot of the things that were made for this game were clearly worked on the prologue and the endings, because they have variety of things to see, alternate scenarios, and don't get me wrong, the middle of the game does have alternate scenarios depending on what you picked, the decisions you picked from the beginning of the game or whenever you did beforehand. And I think that's still unique on them to pull that off, because it happens on certain missions, right? It's not every single mission, but certain missions. And I think the detail is pretty unique. Oh wow, look at here. It is a more simple UI. I wonder if they were actually going to plan on having that UI. See, look how simple this is. Only 3 tabs: style, equip, and backpack. And then you just go. It's actually pretty simple. That was my other complaint, is that the UI is a mess. It's like all over the place in the released versions.
You can inspect specific items. Okay, let's equip the and deal with
Okay.
things. The engineering skill can be used to fix, disassemble.
So pretty much gameplay of the gunplay. I'm just skimming through it.
This is a smart gun. It's one of the more advanced.
So they're just showing the variety of weapons of what they're managed to do. This looks sort of different. And again, the reason why this is such a this looks fake, even if I didn't read the article and saw this actually back in 2018, literally the textures, the lighting of this game give a clear understanding that this is a fake demo. This is like some sort of rendered demo, or a demo that wasn't recorded on the hardware we currently have. Listen, Ubisoft did it to me many times already, okay? Ubisoft got me a few times. Alright, especially with Watch Dogs, and I'll never forget that back in 2012, 2011? When they showed some stuff about it, I was like, come on, man. Because when the release version came out, it was nothing like the demos. Didn't look anything next gen. Oh man, I'm just still remembering the days, man, where that was the first time where I was like, yeah, you can't believe these companies when they release these demos. That's why. But a lot of companies now, though, they do tend to show actual gameplay footage, recorded from like PS4, Xbox One, or well, nowadays PS5 and Xbox Series X. I'm not saying that they're trustworthy to take their word and demo footage when presenting it, but definitely nowadays they do show the actual gameplay, and you're able to actually tell that it's a thing.
Let's focus on the squad containing the Maelstrom ganger we just. With quick hack, using the back door, double jump and bounce off of walls, which makes us a very agile.
So they're just showing the features, which they actually did, you know, when it came to it. See, that's something different, I think. I don't know, it's been a while since I played Cyberpunk, and a lot of stuff has happened with Cyberpunk. You see, I killed Royce off the bat. So, I wouldn't know if this was a thing in the original game, so let me know. But I don't think this was, even if you kept him alive, this happened in the main game. So yeah.
Smoothest raid, but we've got the Royce about
So pretty much, yeah, it's just the prologue mission.
Only the corp gets what it wants. Remember that.
Why does it say Jackie? Is this demo bugging out too? Is this demo bugging out? Damn, man. Oh, this game. Well, okay, I think that's pretty much it when it comes to this game, man. I don't want to really talk about it as much anymore because we already get the gist of it, and I highly recommend, highly recommend you guys take a look at least at the Twitter thread about this game. Inform yourself about this sort of stuff. Stop defending this game and what it is. And a lot of people are also acting like as if I'm forgetting that other companies do this. Obviously, I know, okay? But Cyberpunk Cyberpunk and CDPR, they depicted themselves as the good guys of this company. So like, and the fact that they blatantly lied and literally just wanted to get out this game, just shows their motives of who they really are. So please understand, okay, of when it comes to this game. I know the game is fun to some of you guys, and the concept of it is really good because I honestly think the game is really fun. It's just missing a lot of stuff, and I like the concept of the story. The story is really the most intriguing thing about this, and I just hate that a lot of the stuff when it came to Cyberpunk 2077, there's just so much cut content, which I hated to see. But anyway, it's a 30-minute video. I'm just going to end it off here. I talked a lot already, but I hope you guys actually enjoyed this video. So remember to drop a like and subscribe if you like these sort of videos. And please tell me how you guys feel about this when it comes to knowing this is basically a fake demo. This is not something what they promised because they were still working on the game. They weren't even close to making some sort of actual gameplay demo from the hardware we're supposed to play on. So I want to hear you guys' comments down below. Let's have a civil discussion, please. Like I said, I got flack in the comment section in my last video, and please, if you're just gonna be ignorant, I'm just gonna take it off. I'm not gonna put out my energy because I went ham last time, and I don't want to do that again. So anyway, drop a like, subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in the future. Peace out. And let's just hope Cyberpunk could be better with whatever updates, but I honestly don't think this game could really come back. Just the fact that so many things are finalized and just so many things to work on, man. So I don't know how they're gonna do this with only updates and all that. Maybe they could do this with expansions, but we'll honestly see.